All right, everyone, make sure that you have this sheet in front of you before we get started. Yours is kind of blank and you'll need to fill it in. And before you start saying, I can't see, move to where you can. Okay. All right, I'm assuming that everybody has this sheet and follow along with me as I go. So we know the 3 different types of rocks and we know about the rock cycle. What you're going to need to know for your exam is the processes of that rock cycle, and that's why I have this particular diagram. And as I told you, we're going to see different ones. So as long as you know the processes, what goes where, you're going to be okay. So at the top, remember it's a cycle, it can start anywhere. You have metamorphic rock. Okay? And how does metamorphic rock, for example, say go to igneous rock? Well, metamorphic rock has to be melted first. That's the process. Once it is melted, it becomes magma. So just like you guys melted in your starburst lab, okay, it becomes magma. Then it's going to cool. And when it cools, it's going to harden. So cooling and hardening of the magma that's been melted makes it become igneous rock. Okay? And it has a process. Now notice there's different arrows and you're probably confused already. But if this melts, igneous rock melts and becomes magma again, cools and hardens, it's igneous rock. So this is a process in itself for igneous rock. Whoops, sorry about that. All right, well, what if the igneous rock doesn't get into the melting phase? What if heat and pressure is applied? Well, then it becomes metamorphic rock. Okay. So anytime you go from one rock to the next, what's the process that gets it there? So heat and pressure takes it to metamorphic rock. Okay. All right, well, what if that igneous rock, we got another arrow to follow. What if that igneous rock is weathered and eroded? Okay. Weathering and erosion we learned about. Okay, the breaking down is weathering, erosion is the movement away. So if this igneous rock becomes weathered and eroded, it's going to turn into sediment. Okay? And from that sediment, it becomes cemented and compacted and becomes sedimentary rock. All right? So now we know how an igneous rock becomes metamorphic. We know how igneous rock can become sedimentary. So notice that sediment's in the middle. All right, let's go back to metamorphic rock for a moment. So what if that metamorphic rock weathers and erodes? Well, guess what it goes to? Sediment, which then becomes cemented and compacted and turns into sedimentary rock. So before that sedimentary rock can happen, you first have to have weather and erosion, sediment, cemented and compacted. Okay. Notice how igneous to sediment is weathering and erosion, and how from metamorphic to sediment is weathering and erosion, and from sedimentary rock, the sediment, okay, is weathering and erosion, all 3 of these. And then it becomes cemented and compacted. Okay. And there's your sedimentary rock. All right, your metamorphic rock. So that sedimentary wants to become metamorphic. Well, what happens? Heat and pressure, okay? And it becomes metamorphic. Same thing from igneous. Heat and pressure becomes metamorphic. The things you have to watch out for in this entire rock cycle is making sure your magma kind of sticks out and your sediment kind of sticks out. Okay? And what I mean by it sticks out is that you have to make this the next step. So for metamorphic to igneous, you have to pass the magma step. Okay? From igneous and metamorphic to sedimentary, you have to pass that sediment step. So that's what I mean. Okay? So pay attention to the arrows here. You have an assignment on that. So if you need to take a few minutes to understand those processes, then you can do that. This will be a classwork graded assignment. Okay? But this will not be the official quiz that we have planned for today. Okay, so before you take the official OMG assessment, study over this for a few minutes, make sure you understand it, and then you're going to have to put that away to take your assessment. All right, that's it.